You think you know what's happening backstage in WWE. Think again. While you've been watching SmackDown every Friday night, there's been a calculated, systematic campaign to destroy one man's career. And guess what? Triple H just dropped the hammer on the person orchestrating it all. Nick Aldis, gone. But here's what WWE doesn't want you to know. This wasn't about poor management or bad decisions. This was about protecting one of the biggest investments in wrestling history, and the conspiracy runs deeper than anyone imagined. Stick around, because what I'm about to reveal will change everything you thought you knew about CM Punk's return to WWE. What's up, Wrestle Scope family? If this is your first time here, welcome to the channel where we dive deep into the stories WWE hopes you'll never figure out. I'm your host, and today we're unpacking one of the most explosive behind-the-scenes stories of 2024, the firing of SmackDown General Manager Nick Aldis and the hidden war that's been waged against CM Punk since his shocking return. Before we get into this, if you appreciate the real stories behind the storylines, do me a favor, hit that like button right now. It helps us expose the truth to more wrestling fans like you. Let's rewind. When CM Punk made his jaw-dropping return at Survivor Series 2023, the wrestling world lost its collective mind. After all the drama, the lawsuits, the infamous All Elite Wrestling nightmare, Punk was back in WWE. Triple H, the man who Punk had criticized for years, welcomed him back with open arms. Roman Reigns acknowledged him. The fans erupted. It seemed like the perfect redemption story. But if you've been paying attention, and I mean really paying attention, something's been off on SmackDown. Week after week, CM Punk has been subjected to the most bizarre booking decisions, matches that made no sense, storylines that went nowhere, opportunities that evaporated overnight. And standing right in the middle of it all, SmackDown General Manager Nick Aldis. Now, on the surface, Aldis seemed like the perfect choice for the role. Former NWA World Champion, respected veteran, someone who understood the business. But here's where it gets interesting. Multiple reports from inside sources that have proven reliable time and time again, started suggesting that Aldis had significant creative influence over SmackDown's direction. And mysteriously, every time CM Punk's name came up in creative meetings, things got complicated. Coincidence? That's what WWE wanted you to think. Let me lay out the evidence that's been hiding in plain sight. First, there was the Royal Rumble situation. CM Punk, one of the biggest returning stars in WWE history, enters at number 14, a random, meaningless spot in the match. He's eliminated in under 12 minutes by someone you probably don't even remember. Meanwhile, every other major return in recent memory got the red carpet treatment. Edge, Final Four. Cody Rhodes, winner. But Punk, treated like just another guy. Then came the Elimination Chamber snub. Punk wasn't even in the match. The Elimination Chamber, a pay-per-view perfect for showcasing his skills, his storytelling ability, his connection with the crowd. Instead, he was stuck in a backstage segment that lasted 90 seconds. WrestleMania season, while Cody, Seth, and Roman got the main event spotlight they deserved, Punk was placed in a mid-card program that, while good, was nowhere near the level of star power he brings to any company he's part of. But here's where it gets really suspicious. Every single time these questionable booking decisions came down, there were reports of Nick Aldis being in those creative meetings, voicing concerns about CM Punk, concerns about his attitude, concerns about his ability to work with others, concerns about whether he was truly committed to WWE's vision. Sound familiar? It should, because those are the exact same talking points that were spread about Punk during his AEW disaster, almost word for word. Here's what multiple sources have now confirmed. Aldis, whether consciously or unconsciously, was bringing his own biases into SmackDown's creative direction, and those biases were specifically targeting CM Punk. Now you might be thinking, why would Nick Aldis have it out for CM Punk? Great question, and this is where we need to connect some dots. Nick Aldis came from the National Wrestling Alliance, where he was the guy, the face of the company, the world champion. He built that organization's modern resurgence on his back. But here's the thing. The NWA represents traditional wrestling values, old school mentality, respect for the business, paying your dues, following the established hierarchy. CM Punk, he's the antithesis of that philosophy. He's the rebel, the guy who shoots from the hip, the performer who became a megastar by explicitly rejecting everything the old guard stood for. He walked out of WWE in 2014 because he refused to play by their rules. He caused chaos in AEW because he wouldn't conform to their culture. CM Punk represents everything that traditional wrestling minds like Aldis have spent decades opposing. But there's another layer to this. Multiple insiders have suggested that Aldis was being advised by certain veterans backstage. Veterans who remember the chaos Punk caused when he left WWE the first time. Veterans who warned Aldis that Punk was a cancer who would destroy SmackDown's locker room harmony if given too much influence. So Aldis, trying to protect SmackDown's culture, started making decisions that kept Punk at arm's length. Not overtly enough to get called out, but subtly enough to limit his impact. A bad match here, a loss there, keeping him away from championship opportunities. Death by 1,000 creative cuts. And for months, it worked. Punk stayed professional. He did everything asked of him. But Triple H was watching, and Triple H saw something that terrified him. One of the biggest investments in modern WWE history was being systematically buried by his own general manager. The breaking point came after Money in the Bank. Sources indicate there was a heated meeting between Triple H, Nick Aldis, and several key creative team members. The topic? CM Punk's trajectory for SummerSlam and beyond. Aldis reported pushed back against plans to elevate Punk into a world championship program. He argued that SmackDown had established stars who deserved those spots more. He suggested that Punk should continue in the mid-card, building new stars, helping younger talent. On the surface, that sounds reasonable, right? Veterans helping younger performers is what the business needs. But Triple H saw through it. This wasn't about building the future. This was about keeping CM Punk down. And Triple H didn't bring back CM Punk to be a mid-card gatekeeper. He brought him back to be a main event attraction. The meeting ended badly, and within 72 hours, Nick Aldis was no longer SmackDown general manager. WWE's official statement called it a creative restructuring. Aldis' statement thanked WWE for the opportunity and wished everyone well. Very professional, very corporate, very sanitized. But backstage, everyone knew what really happened. Triple H had just sent a message to everyone in WWE. No one, and I mean no one, undermines the investments this company makes in its top stars, not even a general manager. Here's what makes this story so significant. It reveals the power struggle that's been happening in WWE since Triple H took over creative control. On one side, you have Triple H's vision, a wrestling-focused product that elevates the performers fans want to see, regardless of their history or politics. He wants to give fans dream matches. He wants to push boundaries. He wants WWE to feel fresh and unpredictable. On the other side, you have the old guard, the traditionalists who believe in hierarchy and paying dues and controlling egos. They remember the chaos of the Attitude Era. They remember the backstage drama. They want stability, predictability, and control. CM Punk sits directly at the intersection of these two philosophies. He's immensely talented and popular, which makes him valuable to Triple H's vision. But he's also unpredictable and outspoken, which makes him dangerous to the old guard's desire for control. Nick Aldis became a casualty of this war. Whether he fully realized it or not, he represented the old archetype attempt to limit Triple H's ability to feature performers who don't fit traditional WWE molds. Triple H's decision to fire Aldis wasn't just about protecting CM Punk. It was about establishing that his vision for WWE will not be compromised by outdated thinking or personal biases. So what happens now? With Aldis gone, CM Punk's path forward should be clear. SummerSlam, Clash of the Castle, Survivor Series, major opportunities await. We're likely going to see Punk elevated to exactly where he should have been all along. Main event programs, championship opportunities, dream matches that actually deliver. But more importantly, this sets a precedent. Triple H has shown he's willing to make tough decisions to protect his vision for WWE. He's willing to remove obstacles, even popular ones, to ensure that WWE delivers what fans want to see. The question now becomes, who else in WWE has been working against Triple H's vision? Because if there's one thing this situation has taught us, it's that the game is willing to make big moves when necessary. Look, this story is far from over. We're going to see ripple effects from this decision for months to come, and you can bet that Wrestle Scope will be here to break down every single development as it happens. But I want to hear from you. Do you think Triple H made the right call firing Nick Aldis? Was there really a conspiracy against CM Punk, or is this all just reading too much into normal creative decisions? And most importantly, what match do you want to see CM Punk in now that is paid? Drop your thoughts in the comments right now. Let's get a conversation going, because the Wrestle Scope community has some of the smartest wrestling minds on YouTube. If you made it this far, you're clearly serious about understanding what really happens in WWE. So do me a favor, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss when we expose the next big story. We're building something special here, and I want you to be part of it. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, keep your eyes open, because in WWE, nothing is ever what it seems. This is Wrestle Scope, signing off.